charge.
It's Saturday morning, October 5th, 2002, and looks like the folks in Line Mountain are only half lit today. It's an overcast Saturday morning. A little sunshine looks like it's falling on Line Mountain and over toward Ellenberg Mountain. We're at Northeastern Clinton Central School on a windy but mild October 5th for the annual Cross Country Invitational, and we're going to be finding out all we can about what's happening here very shortly. This is part of the annual events. They're teaming up, they're warming up for the toss. They toss 8th graders. Let's see how far they can throw them. The coaches and community race is just starting to wrap up. We're awaiting the arrival of our play-by-play man, Frank Woodward. But they have a variety of races here in this annual invitational, and this is the 7th annual NCCS Cross Country Invitational, and it starts pretty much the same routine every year. 9:30 open race for children 10 years of age and under. 10 o'clock open race for coaches and community, and they leave 45 minutes in there to separate that from the next race. So then the first race we'll be covering will be the modified boys, which will be coming up very shortly. Working on the tent, we have Mr. Barnum and Mr. Bailey. Barnum and Bailey here working on the tent, keeping it nobody has used that tent, but it's there.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We're at Northeastern Clinton Central School, and it's October 5th, 2002, and we're just watching the start of the boys' modified cross-country race. The team in the red is Beekmantown, and the team in green is the Franklin Academy Huskies. Of course, you got Northeastern in the purple, and we have a couple schools from Vermont, and the MVU is not Mount Anthony Union. That's a Vermont school. The modified boys race is 1.2 miles, and they make one loop, about a third of the regular course. As you can see, it's a gorgeous fall day here, a little cool. Pretty ideal conditions to run cross country. The pack hasn't really separated out yet. They're still pretty well bunched. Currently, a Beekmantown runner is in the lead.
There were also some Tupper Lake runners in red too, I noticed when they went by.
That's correct. I'll try not to make the same mistake I did last year with the girls varsity race, where I misidentified the Saranac girls team as being from Saranac Lake because the uniforms were so similar. When they get a little closer, when they come up around over the hill, we'll make sure we got the right teams. We're coming to the difficult part of the race, where they have to go about a quarter of a mile up a gradual rise, and that's the thing about cross country. You got varied terrain, and on a course like we have here at Northeastern Clinton, it's usually the strong runners that end up winning the races, because they go up and down this ridge several times, and it tends to sap people who haven't done a lot of high mileage training. Especially kids this age, they're not running a lot. The pack is still pretty tight. They picked up the pace a little going up the hill, which you can do today because you got a tailwind blowing from the west, so when you're running up that hill, it's going to be right at your back. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we've had some separation in the pack since we were on the air before. We have a, I believe that's a Beekmantown runner, and the runner in first place I'm not sure of. It looks like it could possibly be from Colchester, which is in Vermont, but I'm not sure. It also could be a Lake Placid runner. It looks like it's probably from Colchester, but I'm not sure of that. That's unfortunate. I didn't get complete rosters from the teams or team colors before we went on the air. Okay, now they're going to be coming up here and finishing. No pun intended, a two-horse race here, and it looks like it's going to be a sprint to the finish. When they go under the white arch that you're looking at right now, they'll have 1/10 of a mile to go. Yeah, well, it's not a Saranac runner. That's a Beekmantown Eagle, that the young lad in red. And I believe that's a Colchester runner. They're both sprinting. Look at that finish. After running 1.5 miles to be able to sprint like that, they're really running well. As you can see, it's hard from here. We're unable to tell who won the race, but it's very close. The winning time usually for a race, the modified race, a mile and 1.2 miles, probably a little over 8 minutes. An exceptional runner will run 7:30 or 7:40 for the 1.2 miles. Here comes our first Northeastern runner. As you can see, you can really get a boost running down the hill if you can keep your footing. That Northeastern runner, he almost fell down as he came off the hill. It made him lose his stride rather than helping him. Here comes another Northeastern runner being challenged. These developmental races are the bread and butter for any coach, because this is what gives the kids the desire to compete and run. They get a taste of it. And some of them end up being lifelong runners. We still have probably a half a dozen runners out on the course. Usually some of these kids just went out too fast. They ran a 5-minute mile and that was it. Nothing left for the last 2/10. Of course, today you got kids that compete. Several, probably in each race, have asthma, and they're out there competing. We're ready for the girls modified race, and we have a pretty full complement of teams in this race. Northeastern Clinton, as we're looking back at the start, is on the right, and on the far left, I believe that's the green uniforms. I believe that's Franklin Academy from Malone. And the red is the Beekmantown Eagles. The blue and white is Missisquoi Valley Union from Vermont. That's the Swanton area school. And of course you got the orange and black of Plattsburgh High School, and the blue and red of Osable Valley. Lake Placid's in the yellow. We're about ready to start the girls modified race. We're waiting for Mr. Power to crack the gun, which just went off. A race of this distance, 1.2 miles, it takes quite a bit before the runners will separate out at all. We have a couple Beekmantown runners in the lead. They've gone about a quarter of a mile now, and the two Beekmantown runners are sprinting away, but that might be a mistake. The girl in the lead looks like she's running a half-mile race instead of a mile.
Sarah's right up there. Come on over here.
She might pay the price for that when they go up that long uphill along the road. The first Northeastern girl is about 8th. I believe that's my neighbor's daughter, Colin Duffy's daughter. I think. Not sure of that. Too far away.
Come over here, Steve. They're second.
Now the pack has caught back up to the two Beekmantown runners. In fact, they've passed the girl that was in second place. The runners should sort out a little bit when coming up this hill. We're picking up the girls modified race again, and they're coming up the long incline. And the Beekmantown runner, surprisingly, is still right there at the head of the pack. But she has a little competition now. I believe that the green uniform, I believe, is from Franklin Academy in Malone. Third place runner, I believe, also is from Franklin Academy. And then you got Missisquoi Valley, and then you have a Lake Placid girl. So a pretty competitive race right now for the first 5 runners. And then we got Missisquoi Valley, and I think the third one's Franklin Academy too. And then Beekmantown, and then 5th one is Lake Placid. We're looking back up toward the 3-mile mark on the cross country course, and here comes the first modified girl from Franklin Academy, and she has probably about a 50-yard lead, just cruising home. The second place runner is from Missisquoi Valley Union, and she's making quite an effort. Here comes a third place runner, another Franklin Academy runner. Fourth place is Lake Placid runner, and the fifth place runner is the girl that led most of the race. When I sort of thought, because the way she was sprinting at the start, that she would fade, and she did. And that's just experience. She gets to be running more. She'll go out a little more even pace and be able to finish stronger. A couple more Franklin Academy runners. And here comes an Ausable Valley runner. And then we got a group, Plattsburgh High, Beekman Town, and Lake Placid.
Come on, kick it in!
Two more Ausable Valley girls. And up on the ridge is the first Northeastern girl. My neighbor, Miss Duffy, I believe. Just a little closer, I can tell. Yeah, looks like one of Colin's girls. Got several of them with red hair. And here comes a Lake Placid runner making a race out of it with her. Looks like she's going to finish pretty strong. Got a race to the finish there. Hard to say who's going to win. It's, our perspective, it looks like they're shoulder to shoulder. I think Northeastern girl won, Miss Duffy. Yeah, she won.
Lake Placid runner woke her up.
She did. She passed her coming down the hill, which is a good tactic on this race. On this course, I mean. The hill provides you really some momentum. Even when you're dead tired, you can fly down that hill, and you only got about 100 yards to the finish line. The problem with the hill, though, it's pretty steep, and if you're tired, you're apt to take a tumble. Now here, this Lake Placid girl did just what we were talking about. She come flying down there. She's running real hard the last 100 yards. Nice finish by that Lake Placid runner. Being able to finish that fast is probably she should have ran a little faster during the race.
This the girl that was number 2 at the beginning?
This is the girl that was in second place at the start. She might have, of course, she faded pretty badly. She might have asthma or something. She ran the first half mile of the race. She was right up there with the leaders. So. Or again, she could have done like the other girl. She went out way too fast, and it cost her at the end of the race.
It's kind of like in the old days when we used to go to the county fair.
Yeah.
You spent all your money in the first hour.
That's right.
You had nothing left.
I believe this is the last finisher right here. Not sure, but I think she's the last one on the course.
There's another one coming.
Oh yes, we got one coming up by the alder bushes. Sumac. It's Sumac, not alder. That's where the old farm building stood when this was a farm. There used to be as you're looking directly north there, where the trees are. There used to be a brick farmhouse there, and the farm buildings are where the Sumac was. You can always tell where the old homesteads was. You go out around these country roads and you see sumac, and you can be sure at one time there was either a home or a farm buildings there. The house that stood there was a beautiful brick building, and of course it stayed on the property a long time after Northeastern had the property for a school. But I guess for liability purposes they ended up tearing it down because apparently some kids had broken into it and they didn't want to have a lawsuit. Ladies and gentlemen, we're about ready to start the boys JV race, and it just started. The green and yellow is Bellows Free Academy from St. Albans, Vermont. They have quite a contingent here. Again, this race will be the full distance, 3.1 miles. There's already been some separation. About the first 10 runners are running at a pretty good clip right now. We got a BFA runner in the lead, and the next two runners are from Plattsburgh High School. Calvin, did you find out who the solid blue?
One of them said Cougars on it, so I don't know.
Yeah, I saw it.
I
saw that, but I couldn't identify it. Identify the school.
Mansfield. I'm not familiar with theirs.
It is Mount Mansfield. Mount Mansfield Union? Yeah, okay. Okay. All right, the solid blue uniforms of Mount Mansfield Union School. They have a reputation as having very good cross country and track teams, so looks like we are going to have a pretty competitive team competition here. Just for information's sake, again, in cross country, the team that scores the fewest points wins the competition. In other words, if your runners finish 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you would get 15 points for that, and that's the perfect score. Coming up the hill, you have the first two runners have separated themselves from the pack. They're from Plattsburgh High School. The third place runner is BFA. We're picking up the boys JV race, and the first two runners are from Plattsburgh High School, and the third runner is the Bellows Free Academy runner from St. Albans, Vermont. The fourth place runner is from Mount Mansfield Union. And then we have a Tupper Lake runner, several more Mount Mansfield Union, and a couple Plattsburgh High runners. It looks like for the team competition, it's going to be Plattsburgh High and Mount Mansfield Union would be the ones that be for the team competition. Doesn't appear that Northeastern Clinton has any runners in the JV race. Of course, if Mr. Powers, if his runners are if they're that good to be able to run in the JV race, he puts them on a varsity, gives them a little incentive.
all they have here at Northeastern is modified and
Right.
varsity.
Right.
I noticed some big JV runners out there. Some of these guys are
Oh yeah, they're older.
big sophomores.
Yeah. One's just going by. One of those Cougars there is he's a pretty big fella. Looks like he'd be more like a football player. And here comes another one. Looks like he'd be more inclined to play football or lacrosse. Now here comes a Northeastern runner. We're picking up the JV boys race again. They're just going through the 2-mile mark, and the Plattsburgh High runner is still leading, and the BFA runner is in second place, and I believe that's I don't have my glasses on, but I think that's the Plattsburgh High runner in third. So we got a pretty good race here for first place. It's also going to be close for the team score. It'll depend on the third, fourth, fifth, and sixth place runners from each team. Right now, if you were to score the first three right now, Plattsburgh would have a total of 4 points. And BFA, of course, the second place, that's 2 points. And their next runner is quite a ways back, fifth or sixth place, so they'd have their first two runners would have 8 points. Plattsburgh High would only have 4. Of course, you got some strategy going on with the first two runners. It's a lot harder to run from in front in a cross-country race than it is to run from behind. So it's hard to tell with the BFA runner whether he's just if he's going all out or is he just cruising along behind the leader. It's a lot mentally. It's a lot tougher for that lead runner to race. But he's doing a good job. Both of them have nice fluid strides. They look like good runners, and they're running a very quick pace. As you can see, if Calvin, if you pan from the runners back to the pack, you got 1, 2, and then 50 yards, the third place runner, and then you got probably 100 yards to the fourth place runner, and then you go back quite a ways before you start getting the rest of the pack. So the first two runners over here have really separated themselves from the pack. Picking up the JV boys race, and the Plattsburgh High runner has separated himself from the second place BFA runner by quite a distance. He just went through the 3-mile mark. He's probably got about a 50-yard lead right now, so he used a strategy where he ran the hills hard, separated himself very quickly on the last half mile on the hills. Here comes the BFA runner. Well, he started to sprint and then grabbed a hold of his hamstring. I think he pulled a hamstring muscle there from the looks of it. Looks like he injured his leg somehow. Here comes the third place runner, is another Plattsburgh High runner. Your top runners will finish. They'll probably do this JV race in 18 minutes and something. If they run it any faster than that, they aren't going to stay in the JVs any much longer. They'd be on the varsity. Next runner is from Tupper Lake, finishing strongly.
This guy's had to take more steps than the guys.
That's true. He's about half the size, but he's ran a good race and he's finishing strong. He's probably only a 7th or 8th grader from the looks of him. But he certainly has some running talent. Here comes 2 Cougars from Mount Mansfield Union, excuse me.
Good job, Ian.
Come on, Brian! Push it in!
Come on, okay!
Here comes another Plattsburgh runner.
Come on, okay!
2 more Plattsburgh runners.
Push!
They're running hard, but got the 2 Cougar runners are trying to displace them. They've been pretty successful. Here comes another. This Plattsburgh runner is important for displacement purposes. He could be the difference between Plattsburgh High winning and losing the team competition.
All right, Garrett!
Good job, Dan. Good job.
As you can see, these runners are flying down the hill.
All right, Alex!
Good job, Alex.
Come on, Shay!
Come on, Shay.
Come on, Shay!
Good job, Shay.
Another BFA runner.
Come on, kick, Nick, kick. Push.
2 more Cougars from
Push,
Come on, Nick,
Nick.
get it, go! Go,
Push.
guys!
Mount Mansfield Union.
Push. Good
Taylor,
job.
come on, Will!
Good job, Will. Good job.
Here comes a Hornet,
Come on, Andrew!
a BFA, and a Mount Mansfield Union sprinting for the finish.
Good job, Andrew.
This young lad here from Tupper Lake looks like he hasn't even broken a sweat. He's just cruising in here.
Come on, Ed, pull! Come on, Brian!
Another strong finish by a BFA runner.
Come on, Brian! Go, Brian! Under the arch, Brian! Show me!
So I've said before, if they finish that strong, they should have run.
Come on, Josh.
They have too much left. They should have run harder
Come on, Josh.
during the race.
Come on,
Here comes a Franklin Academy runner.
Good
All
job,
right,
Josh.
Josh!
2 more Mount Mansfield.
Good job, Jeff! David, he beat you!
Come on, Jake. Come on, Shy.
Some more Mount Mansfield runners.
Come on,
Come on,
fellas!
guys. Push,
Come
push.
on, Jeremy!
Push.
Must go out the whole school.
That's just about it, and they're not even on the varsity. They probably had 2 school buses full from the looks of it. They got about they have 20 or 25 kids out there in this race.
Come on, Josh.
BFA also has a large contingent of runners in the
Come on,
JV
John.
race.
Push, push,
Here comes a sprint finish.
push, push, push. Good job.
I don't know.
2 more BFA runners.
Well, you have to run on track there, Art.
Huh?
You see that? If we can run the track team instead, look at you.
Little chemistry problem there, I think. Come on, Robert!
When we started this race, it wasn't that cold, but all of a sudden it's gotten very chilly. The temperature must have dropped about 5 or 10 degrees in the last 20 minutes. The wind's picked up considerably.
Come on, Robert!
Come on, Robert, turn it on! Robert.
Come on, Robert. That's a PR by 2. Robert just had a PR by 2 minutes. This course runner or something. You guys were a little wrecked.
Comes another BFA runner with a strong finish.
That's the first time you broke a 21, right? Yeah. I broke 21, so... Yeah, I was right behind you.
Good job, BFA.
I just heard the finish announcer say that the last runner just crossed the finish line in 24 minutes and 20 seconds. So this Mount Mansfield runner coming in is going to run about 25 minutes for 3.1 miles, and he's a pretty big fella. Looks more like a football player. And here comes another football player here. He's running pretty well for that size. He's been running for years. We're looking back up the cross-country course. In comes Plattsburgh High runner, and the runner just about to come through the 3-mile mark is the only Northeastern runner in the JV race. Is Dustin Rye, who has been running on the Northeastern team since he was a 7th, 8th grader. Doesn't get any recognition, but he's every race he puts in 100% effort. Always finishes. Exemplifies what cross country is all about. You're running against yourself, and he's improved every year. He's getting a good hand from the crowd, including his coach, Mr. Powers. His finish time was 26:52. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that's for 3.1 miles. So he ran that race in a little over 8 minutes a mile. We're just about ready to start the girls JV race, and warming up and racing toward us is Mount Mansfield Union contingent of girls. And right next to them is looks like a soccer team, the girls team from Bellows Free Academy in St. Albans, Vermont. We've certainly had a good turnout from the Vermont schools. Most of them set 15, 20 runners per school here. And as you look at the starting line, you can see there's a mass of yellow and blue in the center. Those are both Vermont schools. And they're off. I managed to turn my watch on for this race. I've forgotten it the last couple. Again, the girls JV race is 5 kilometers, which is 3.1 miles.
Let's go, Emily! Come on, ladies! Go! Go! Come on!
The temperature has dropped, as I mentioned before, and the wind has picked up again. So running on this course, which is on an exposed ridge, they're going to be running in some pretty strong headwinds parts of the race, including the start, which they run about a quarter of a mile directly into this probably 20-25 mile an hour wind. First two runners are in blue. I believe both of them are from Mount Mansfield Union. And then we have the runners in the green. I think Franklin Academy has some, their JV girls are here today. Their varsity is not here today. Their varsity girls team is not here today, which is unfortunate. Then all that yellow in the field is Bellows Free Academy runners. They probably got about 15 girls running this. This is only the JV race.
Over 20, I'd say.
You'd say over 20? Anyway, it's a lot. We're starting to get a little separation now. They've run about a half mile. I believe that's it's hard to say, but I think the girl in front is a Franklin Academy runner. It's in green, right?
Looks green.
Looks green. I don't have my glasses on. That distance, the colors tend to blur. Then the next two runners are Mount Mansfield Union. Next three runners, I believe, are Mount Mansfield Union. Then it looks like a couple Beekmantown Eagles. And then we start getting a large contingent from BFA. Cross country, most coaches stress pack running that because it tends to, if you run in a pack toward the front, you tend to displace a lot of people. And even though the first couple runners are from Mount Mansfield Union and then from Franklin Academy, you have that large contingent from BFA running in a pack. And we're picking up the girls JV race at about 3/4 of a mile. I believe these two girls are from Franklin Academy and Malone. They got Huskies on the front. That's the nickname of the Franklin Academy team. Their school has a history of tremendous women's and men's cross-country teams. And we got the Mount Mansfield Union, a Beekmantown Eagle, and then two BFA runners, another Beekmantown runner, and three more BFA runners. So if the race were to end right now, the BFA team would probably win the team race, but there's still a long way to go. They're just reaching the mile mark. Girl just went through the mile in 6:42, which is a pretty good pace. And here comes the bulk of the pack. Again, Northeastern Clinton only has an incomplete team, only has a couple girls running in this race. Only one. Now, who would that be? You know her name? Oh, no. Okay. Samantha Forey. Samantha Forey is the only Northeastern runner in this race.
Coach Colchester here.
Colchester, right? The the white and lighter blue. Colchester Lakers. And here comes Samantha, putting out a good effort.
I think she's from Vermont, so she's probably running with the Vermonters.
Okay, all right. The first runner is just passing the 2-mile mark in 14:14, so her pace has slowed down about half a minute a mile, but she's still running a very strong race. And it looks like it's a BFA runner. She's way ahead. Here come the second and third place girls, and they're going through in 14:39, so she was 14:14, so she was 25 seconds faster.
Oh yeah. Do you all see this?
She looks like she could probably be running on a varsity.
Probably does.
Page A3 of today's paper.
It's a little hard to call the team race right now, but of course we know the BFA team has got 1 point from the first place girl. And then the second and third place girls are from Franklin Academy, so you add their 2 positions together. They have 5 points toward the team score. And then you got 2 Mount Mansfield Union runners. And then the 5th place girl is from, I believe, Beekmantown. And then you got another BFA girl.
BFA's got at least 5 in the top 10, 12 though.
Yeah, let's see. They got first place, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, first, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10, 11, and 12. First, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10, first, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, and 12. So they would win the team competition right now if it maintains that way. Now you got the white and blue uniforms. That's Colchester, Vermont. The Lakers. Okay. We're looking north toward the sumac, and just running in front of it is the first JV girls runner, and she apparently is from BFA. She has quite a lead. She's just coming to the 3-mile mark right now. (21:44) for 3 miles. So she's going to finish around a little over 22 minutes. Pretty good time considering now the conditions have deteriorated over the last half hour. It's gotten a lot colder and the wind has really picked up.
Thanks, Sam.
She's got a fine effort here. She has about a 100-yard lead on the second place runner. Second place, another BFA runner, but the Franklin Academy girl challenged her coming through the 3-mile mark, but looks like we're going to have a horse race here for the finish. These points are important for displacement purposes. It looks like the Franklin Academy runner is going to win. Here comes the first Mount Mansfield Union runner. Strong finish. You see the wind's, some of these girls are lighting up. The wind is blowing them sideways as they're coming through here. The first Beekmantown runner. And here comes several more BFA girls. The winning time for this race, incidentally, was a little bit over 22 minutes, which is a little over 7 minutes a mile for 3 miles. So you picture that, and they're running several times up and down the ridge and over the hills. So that's a pretty good effort to run 22 minutes for this course. The varsity girls will probably do the race in about 20 minutes. If they get an exceptional time, it'd be in 19 minutes and something. The boys varsity probably winning time around high 16 or low 17s. Here comes a Colchester Laker, the blue and white, and another BFA runner. Calvin and I were commenting that it looks like they brought the whole school over here today. They've had large contingents in every race. Comes a Mount Mansfield runner and another BFA. And here comes a couple red. That's a Beekmantown. Strong effort. And here comes a Colchester Laker having a race with a Beekmantown girl. And here comes a couple Franklin Academy Huskies. Franklin Academy's in the green and white. Another Colchester.
Come on, Megan!
Couple more BFA girls. Strong effort.
Come on, Megan! Come on, Megan! Push! She's right behind you!
Come on, push it!
Come on, she's right behind you! Come on! Push it! Come on! You can do it! You're doing great! Push! Come on!
Here comes an Ausable Valley runner. I think they had an incomplete team in this race. I don't. They have just 1 or 2 runners. Here comes another Colchester runner. Another Colchester runner. 3 in a row here. It's gotten cold enough, Calvin. I'm starting to shiver a little bit here.
Come on, Shelby. Good job. Come on, push. Come on.
We were commenting before we started broadcasting the races that it was so much different from last year, where we practically were icicles before we finished. But guess what? We're well on our way right now. Another strong effort. I believe there might be a couple more runners out on the course.
I want to go up there and catch Sam.
No, I know.
Another Colchester. We're picking up the girls JV race again, and the girl just coming through the 3-mile mark is Samantha Foy. She's the only Northeastern Clinton Cougar in the race. Of course, we got Mount Mansfield Union Cougars who have a large contingent here. And here comes Samantha. Right now she's at 29 minutes and 30 seconds for, she'll finish about under 30 minutes for the 3-mile race, which is about 9 minutes and something a mile she's averaging, which is excellent time. And the other Cougar. Another Colchester runner. Incidentally, Colchester is right in the Burlington, Vermont area. That's a large high school over there. This young lady has apparently has some sort of a tendon injury. Another BFA runner. Another BFA runner. This young lady's hair is so long, it looks like she's got a sail on there. Going to be in the vicinity of 32 minutes for 3 miles.
No, we're running right now, all right? No,
Yeah.
do it later. I'm serious, man. I'm the captain. I'm telling you, you can't talk to him now.
Here's the last runner. We're just about ready to start the boys' varsity race. Again, the distance is the same, 3.1 miles. Mr. Power's about ready to crack the gun. They're off. The only team that's different in this race is Salmon River Central School out near the Ocnosasnee Indian Reservation. Their team members are in black. The Thunder and Herd goes flying by. Northeastern runners are toward the middle of the pack, which is a mistake. They should have been right up with the 2 leaders. You don't get out early in a fast competitive race like this, you're not going to be there. You see Travis Dragoon is moving up now, and so is Garrett Woodward. That's my son. They're about 6th and 10th places now, but the rest of the Northeastern team is sort of still back in that pack. There are a couple favorites in the race. Franklin Academy runner Matt McGuire, who finished 7th here last year, is one of the favorites. I was talking to him before the race, and he figures that he could probably, today he could run low 17s, which if he does that would be an excellent time on this course. There's another runner that he's been trading first place finishes with in Section 10. That's Josh Peliquin from Salmon River Central. So those two guys should be right up there. Now, if you're looking as they're coming up the hill, guess who's in the lead right now, Calvin?
Looks like the Woodward kid.
No, that's Travis Dragoon. I'm afraid he's gone out a little too fast there, though, to hold that type of a pace, and he's running uphill like he'd run on a flat. We shall see. It's a cool day, and occasionally on a cool day when you go out fast like that, you can hold on to it, but you got some pretty quality runners in this race.
Oh yeah, I think so. Well, look at this guy. He was thinking of like all the way around, get away, all of it. He was so far ahead, we like afterwards knocked his hole. He said, hey, Levi, you gotta kick back so it's 7 meters like that. Look, they're even with that.
We're picking up the boys varsity race again, and Travis Dragoon is in the lead by about 10 yards. And you have, I believe that's a Franklin Academy runner. I'm not sure. They have to get closer. I believe it's Green.
Colchester second, BFA third.
Okay. Who's the Colchester runner?
Farmer's his last name.
Is he good?
Yes, he is. It's both BFA runner.
What's his name?
Levi Lavala.
LaVallen?
Lavala.
Lavala. So we got Farmer and Lavala. Travis Dragoon from Northeastern's first, and we got Farmer from Colchester and Lavala from BFA. And you got the gentleman in black is the Salmon River runner I was telling you about, Josh Peliquin. And here comes Garrett Woodward. Now the rest of the pack is coming up the hill. Right now, with about 100 yards to the mile mark, the time is 4:55. So they're going to hit the mile. The leaders hit the mile in about 5 minutes, which is a really fast time. I only hope that Travis can hold that pace. Here comes Mr. O'Connor, Pat's son.
Come on, Jordan! Come on, Jordan, you're faster than this.
Good job.
This is your course. Come on, come on.
Good job, Cam.
Go, Corey!
This young lad looks like he's limping a little bit from Colchester.
Go, Corey!
Mile and a half.
Most important area right there.
We're back on, and we're viewing the boys varsity race, October 5th, 2002. And it looks like two runners have separated themselves from the pack. The Pelican, yeah. The first place runner is from, looks like BFA. That's, did they say Lavala?
Lavala, yeah.
Lavala, and the second place runner is Farmer from, we got Lavala and Farmer, and then we got Pelican and Travis Dragoon. We'd like to mention and thank the participating teams that are here today. We have 13 teams participating in this cross-country invitational. We've got Salmon River Central, Mount Mansfield Union from Vermont, Bellows Free Academy from Vermont, Beekmantown, Franklin Academy from Section 10 in Malone, Missisquoi Valley, which is in Swanton, Vermont, of course Northeastern, Ausable Valley, Colchester, Vermont, which is right near Burlington, the Lakers, the Tupper Lake team, which probably is traveling the furthest of any of them to come here, Plattsburgh High School, Lake Placid High School, and Ty is listed on here, but their varsity boys team is not here today. They're resting, according to their coach. They had a they went in an invitational last weekend in Rochester.
This one through the 2 mile mark.
2 mile mark was about 10:45, so that's about a 5:20 a mile pace. That's a blistering pace on a windy day like today. If he maintains that to the finish, he's going to finish in about a little over 16 minutes.
Might want to point out, Frank, that in future years we'll have the best view in the house of the new Parker Chevrolet facility out there.
That's right. As you can see, looking down the valley there, we have several warehouses, and of course the Parker Chevrolet building is now being built. Of course, we all need the economic growth that they imply, but they certainly do take away from that beautiful view looking down over the valley. It's being gradually closed off. The first place runner, I believe, is from Colchester, and that is Mr. Farmer, right?
Or Lavala.
Or Lavala. No, I think Lavala was from BFA.
Okay.
So this is this is Farmer, and it looks like the BFA runner, Lavala, is in second place. And I apologize if I've reversed the names and they are actually the other way around, but it appears that first. And then the third and fourth place runners are Salmon River. The first Salmon River runner is Josh Pelican. The second one, I do not know what his name is. Fifth place is Travis Dragoon, and Travis is hanging pretty tough right now after that blistering first mile. He went through the first mile in 5:07, including that quarter mile uphill. You saw him sprint up it, but Travis is a tough kid, a lot of desire. It wouldn't surprise me if he caught those two Salmon River runners in front of him. Then we got another BFA runner, and then we got the young Ramo from Plattsburgh High School, Sean Ramo, and he's running. Then we got another Colchester Laker and another Salmon River runner. Then we got another BFA runner. Then you have my son Garrett Woodward. So Garrett and Travis are in the top 10. In an invitational like this, if they can maintain that, they'll both finish very well. It remains to be seen, though. First place runner is just running by the sumac. That's Chris Farmer from Colchester. He's just going through the 3-mile mark in 16:18. So he's going to finish under 17 minutes on a very windy, cold day. Right now he's at 16:29 with about 70 yards to go. We have quite a horse race for second, third, and fourth place. Here comes Chris Farmer. He's going to finish in about 16:45. 16:45. The second place runner, Levi Lavala from BFA, and he's in a tight race with the Salmon River runner. The time right then was 17:01 for that pack that finished. Here comes Travis. Travis is in 17:16. And here comes Sean Ramo from Plattsburgh High, 17:24. Lake Placid, that's Jonathan Lee from Lake Placid. Here comes another Salmon River runner. Here comes Garrett Woodward. Here comes Garrett.
Go, Morgan, right behind you. Yeah.
You heard a couple of these runners just going by. They were tremendous effort. They're running high 16s, low 17s for 3.1 miles of very windy conditions. That's under 6 minutes a mile, about 5.5 minutes a mile. First Tupper Lake runner. A couple Mount Mansfield Union runners, Franklin Academy. Here comes Adam. The Northeastern runner coming right now, I believe, is Tyler Gay. And Tyler's important. He's sprinting. He's passed several runners right now. They're all important for placement. Tyler always gives 110% when he's running.
Go, Frank! Let's go, Frank! Yeah!
Another Colchester runner.
Go, T-Rock! Good, Jack!
Strong effort from the Plattsburgh High runner. Here comes Andrew, Northeastern. He's trying to catch that runner. I think he might have made it. That point that he just, I think, won could be very important for Northeastern. Here comes James. James only 8th grade. Mike O'Connor. Pat O'Connor's son. Mike started running to lose weight to play basketball, but now he likes running. And he's getting the added benefit that it really helps his basketball.
Come on, Jamie! Come on, James!
Tupper Lake runner.
All right, let's go! Come on, James! Let's go!
I just heard the finish time. They just went 21:30. And just to put it in perspective, that was about the 30th runner to finish, and he finished in 21 minutes and 30 seconds, which is just under 7 minutes a mile. Tremendous time, and he only finished 30th. So you can see the effort that's being put out by these runners.
Still some more. A couple of Beekmantown runners coming in. Overcast all day today. Hurricane Lily. This is the remnants of Hurricane Lily. Following a week behind Hurricane Isidore. Another Beekmantown runner.
We're back on the air again, and I'm just about to interview Tony Rock.
Yes.
This young lad's from Bellows Free Academy in St. Albans, Vermont, and he personifies what we're talking about when you're running cross country. This young lad ran this race with a badly turned ankle. As you can see, Calvin, get a picture of it. It's badly swollen. So what'd you do for time? Any idea?
Around a 19:25.
19 minutes and 25 seconds on one leg. That's pretty good. You make a good Marine someday. So let's get a little background on you here. Where do you live? You actually live
I live in St. Albans, yeah, St. Albans City.
Yeah? What do your parents do?
My mom's a dental assistant, and my dad works for a concrete company.
Works for a concrete company. What grade are you in?
I'm a senior this year.
Senior? All
Yes.
right. You getting good grades? I shouldn't put you on the spot like that, should I?
A's and B's, I get a couple C's.
A's and B's, all right.
Couple C's every now and then, you know, those harder
Yeah.
courses.
So where are you planning on going to school this fall?
Either St. Mike's.
St. Mike's, good
St.
school.
Mike's, that's my first choice. And
Good Catholic school.
Yes. I'm looking at Siena.
Siena, another good Catholic school.
Right here in New York. So.
Yeah.
And I'm also looking at St. Anselm, so.
Yeah, that's in New Hampshire, right?
Yeah, that's over in New Hampshire.
Yeah. Very good. So you haven't narrowed it down to maybe which one you might be going to?
St. Mike's is my first choice.
That's a good school.
Yeah, Siena's second. And
how's their cross-country program there?
it's pretty good. It's a little laid back, but you know, I don't mind that. So.
You figure you're going to be able to run next week with that?
Yeah, probably. I'm going to rest up in the week, so.
I think if I was in the Army, I'd like this guy in my platoon. We're on the air again, ladies and gentlemen. We're interviewing the winner of this cross-country invitational, Chris Farmer from Colchester High School. And a little background, Chris, what grade are you in?
I'm senior at CHS.
Senior? Okay. So that means you're looking at college right now, right?
Yeah.
Any particular ones that you're close to choosing?
Well, I have a lot of schools out there, but I do want to do engineering.
Engineering. You're looking at, say, maybe RPI or something like that, or
I've looked at
MIT.
MIT was kind of my dream school for many years.
But, you got to get at least what, 1,500 on your college scores to get in a place like that.
Yeah, I'm pretty close to that.
You're pretty close to that?
No, I'm not. they do require.
How about Clarkson?
Clarkson, I actually took a tour of.
Yeah. UVM has a good engineering school, right?
Sort of.
Sort of.
They have a nice engineering program they can send you to other schools for low cost.
Well, let's get back to the race a little bit here. So you won in 16:46, which is a tremendous time on a very windy, cold day. And it looked like your only competition was Mr. Lavala from BFA there. You've raced against him all year, right?
Yeah.
Is he managed to beat you at all?
Yeah.
He did. Well, you had quite a lead on there at the end.
Yeah.
You must have felt real strong.
I did. It was a good
Where did you
race.
pick it up? Where did you break away from them? Because when you were on the flat over there, you were still pretty close.
Yeah, I'd say right on the corner down there, coming up
Right.
those last two.
Up the hill, right?
Yeah.
You pushed it up the hill.
Yeah.
Which is a pretty good strategy when he's not when he's right on you. You see if he's still got anything left by pushing it up the uphill.
And this course was nice because you got the wind at your back going up.
Yeah, yeah. But you had it in your face a couple times there.
Yeah, that was harder.
I noticed you sort of laid back a little bit at the beginning of the race there. The first mile was Northeastern's best runner, Travis Dragoon. He went through the mile in 5:07. A little fast.
Yeah.
What did you manage to get a 2 mile time? What was your 2 mile time?
Nobody gave me a 2 mile time.
Well, I think we caught him. What was it, about 10:40, 10:44, 10:45, and excellent race. So, are any of these schools that you're looking at, are they interested in giving you any money for track or cross country?
I hope so.
You hope so.
But you know, it's a lot that could happen.
Yeah. Did you run against Schenk at all?
Yeah, I have.
You were probably a sophomore when he was a senior then, right? What?
I don't know.
He graduated last year or the year before?
Schenk? I
Yeah.
thought he was still running.
He's still running.
I don't know.
I don't think. I think he's in college now, but he did very well in the National Foot Locker races. Yeah, I think he was a top 10 finisher.
I wasn't very good until last year. I've been working my way.
So what have you been doing? A little background on the training. What have you been doing for training over the last couple of years?
During the summers, I do a lot of biking.
A lot of biking. Any running?
Sometimes.
Sometime.
And a little bit of roller skiing.
Yeah.
When I can find time.
Those are all good for building up stamina.
Yeah.
So what sort of how many miles a week are you running during the season here?
Maybe we don't usually run more than 5 miles a day.
5 miles. Well, that's plenty. That's 25, 35 miles a week.
Yeah.
Of course, a lot of that is high intensity mileage in your training, right?
We try to keep it
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah. Well, that's what you should do. But anyway, congratulations again on an excellent race.
Thank you.
And really good time on a not ideal day. So this young lad ran a tremendous time. And when you break 17 minutes on this course on a day like today, you got a lot of talent. Congratulations again. We're back on the air again, ladies and gentlemen. This is Travis Dragoon, the rising cross-country track star of Northeastern Clinton. And what grade are you in, Travis?
I'm a sophomore.
Sophomore. Okay. And who are your parents? You want to tell me their names?
Kelly and Kelly Dragon.
Kelly and who?
Kelly. Both named Kelly.
Both named Kelly. Kelly and Kelly. I didn't catch that. Now, what does your dad do?
He works at Air, so he trains people. And
Okay. What about mom?
she works at Clinton Community College.
Clinton Community College. So anyway, getting back to Travis here. You really went out hard that first mile.
Yeah.
Did you feel good? Or
Yeah.
you just wanted to be out there?
I wanted to be out there, and I
wanted
wanted
to be
to
out there.
push the pace a little bit more than what they were.
Yeah, see, his race strategy was to take some of the kick out of these guys. But you went through the mile in 5:07, you know that?
Yeah.
That's a really good time. So what'd you end up with your finish time? What was your finish time?
17:17.
17:17. So you didn't slow down that much.
No.
You finished 5th, I think, right?
Yeah.
5th place, which is excellent. He's only a sophomore. All the runners that finished ahead of him, every one of them's a senior. So if he keeps up at this pace, by the time he's a senior, guess what? He'll be winning some of these races by a couple hundred yards. If he can finish that close to these runners that are 2 years older, they're more mature. He's still got a lot of growing to do, a lot of strength to pick up yet. So what happened when you came up that last hill there? Did you pass anybody, or did you pretty much just maintain your position there?
Just maintain my position and make sure no one could get close enough to me.
That's right. Were you able to come hard off the hill? Of course, I couldn't really watch it come off the hill because I was broadcasting the race, but were you able to pick it up coming off the hill?
Yeah, coming down the hill, I just picked it up and kept that steady pace all the way to the finish.
Yeah, well, that's good. Well, congratulations, Travis.
Thank you.
Next year or the year after, Travis is going to be the winner of this race. Guaranteed. They're off. This is the boys, excuse me, this is the girls section of the Invitational, the girls varsity race. The two runners in front are from PHS, Plattsburgh High School.
Where are you going? Oh yeah, we came a couple times over there. Okay.
The two PHS girls who are in the lead are Lena Rabidou and Megan Mazurik. Now, I believe her father's a doctor in Plattsburgh, or if I'm not mistaken. I've heard the name before. Have you, Calvin?
Yeah.
Mazurik?
Yeah, I've heard the name.
I think he's a doctor, but I'm not sure of that.
Coming up until here, and then this way. Yeah.
You might be thinking of Mazar.
Yeah, I could be mistaken.
There was a Dick Mazurik who used to work at Harris that died at a young age. His son was Gavin and went to PHS, so I have no idea if there's a relative or not.
Probably is. So the two PHS girls are still in the lead. The third place runner, I believe, is Mount Mansfield Union. And I think her name is Sabra Davidson. It's either her or Kim Kesey. They're the two top runners from Mount Mansfield Union.
But the point of it is, it was her best race. She had less than a quarter of a mile left.
Caitlin Herdick is the best Northeastern runner in terms of time so far this year, and I can't pick her out yet. You see her, Calvin? Can you see down there?
That's all she cut out.
I think she might be about 8th place, but I'm not sure of that. Oh, I see her. She's about 10th place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There are two Northeastern runners who are 12th and 13th. You get a nice background shot there with the corn in the background. It makes the runner stand out against that yellow corn background. Beautiful views around here. We're on the air again with the girls varsity cross country, and the young lady in the lead right now has got about a 10-yard lead is Marika Isom from BFA in St. Albans. The second place runner is Caitlin Herdick. So Caitlin has moved up, or I missed her. I don't think she moved up that much. I must have just missed her. She's probably been in that top pack right along. And right behind her are two Mount Mansfield Union runners, Sarah Davidson and Kim Kesey. So we're shaping up as another exciting race in the girls' race. Lena Rabidou is the PHS runner has fallen back, and here comes Sarah Angus in the black from Salmon River Central. She told me she'd like to run around 20 minutes and 30 seconds for the race. If she does that, she'll probably win. The first place girl will probably go through the mile mark in right around 6 minutes. As you remember from the boys varsity race, the first mile time was 5:07. Another Northeastern runner. Here comes a Lake Placid young lady. Plattsburgh High. She looks like she's running on an injured knee. Showing some fortitude. We're back on the air again, and we're coming to the 2 mile mark. And first runner's already through the 2 mile mark. He went through 2 miles in about 12 minutes and change, so the pace has slowed somewhat. She went through the mile in about 6 minutes, but she dropped down to about a 6:30, 6:40 mile for the second mile. But she's still running at a tremendous pace on a cold day, cold, windy day. She's got about a 50-yard lead on the second place runner, who is from is that Mount Mansfield Union? Looks like, or is it from Salmon River? Can't tell if it's black or blue. That would be the Mount Mansfield Union runner. That is Sabra Davidson, I believe. Now Caitlin Herdick is in 4th place right now. She's running an excellent race. We have the second BFA runner is in 3rd place right now. Now Caitlin just passed the Mount Mansfield Union girl, and she's in 4th place now. She's at somewhat of a disadvantage on a day like this with this wind, because she doesn't have much weight and the wind buffets her around, especially when she's running into it. That runner passed her back again. The second Northeastern runner is in 7th place, and I believe the runner in front of her is Sarah Angus. In 6th place is from Salmon River. She's a young lady that told me before the race that she would like to run 20 minutes and 30 seconds as a goal for the day. It looks like she'll probably make it if she keeps up this pace. We're picking up the girls varsity race again as we look north toward the sumac on the ridge. Marika Isom of BFA is in the lead by a considerable margin. She's just about to go through the 3 mile mark in just a second here. 19:28. Excellent time. She'll probably, if she sprints down the stretch here, she could break 20 minutes in a race, which would be she's gonna have to pick it up a little bit. She might make it. She's at 19:45 right now. No, she's not picking it up enough to break 20 minutes. She's just cruising in. She's got a big lead. I don't blame her. That's a tremendous effort. Her winning time was 20 minutes flat. Here comes Kim Kesey of Mount Mansfield Union, and she's going to finish in about 2017. So the first place girl had a 17-second margin of victory. This is Sabra Davidson of Mount Mansfield Union, and she's going to finish in about 20:35. And here comes Caitlin. Caitlin finishes in 20:40. Here comes another BFA runner. And here comes first Salmon River Central runner. This is Sarah Angus. And Sarah is going to finish in 20:59. Almost on what she predicted. Here comes Emily, Northeastern, second place runner. Comes a third Northeastern runner. Strong finish. First Tupper Lake runner. Another Cougar, Mount Mansfield. Another BFA runner. Here comes a fourth place Northeastern runner. So Northeastern might have a chance for the team championship here. Here comes the second Salmon River Central girl. Two more rival Cougars here. That young lady made a classic mistake, and she didn't run hard at the end and got passed.
All the way to the line, Megan, all the way to the line. All the way to the gate.
We're at 22 minutes and 50 seconds into the race. These young ladies are still running about 7:30 a mile. Here comes the third place Salmon River Central runner. Colchester Laker just went by. Another Salmon River Central. That young lady probably got buffeted pretty well by the wind because she's not carrying much weight on her. Another Colchester runner. Another Mount Mansfield. Another Colchester runner. And here comes a Northeastern runner right through the 3 mile mark in 24:20. I can't identify the young lady from here. Girls, who's this Northeastern runner coming in? Catherine. Oh. And the next Northeastern girl is Catherine Frankie, who was in the Press Republican today. This young lady is quite a story. She suffers from type 1 diabetes and manages still to keep a full academic load and run cross country, which is quite a feat.
Come on, Leah! Come on, Leah!
Here comes Leah. Another PHS runner. Here comes our first Lake Placid finisher, I think. I'm not sure of that, though. Another Northeastern runner.
I should point out the local EMS, the Champlain and Rouse's Point EMS squads have been alternating here, and this particular time they're both here. There's William Dupree hard at work.
We're on the air again with two of the Northeastern Clinton Central girls runners, and I'll let them introduce themselves. The young lady to my immediate left, what's your name?
Katrin Herdick, Catherine Frankie.
And Catherine was in the Press Republican this morning. They had quite a lengthy article on her. She, I didn't realize it, and I don't think a lot of other people did, that she has class 1, she's a class 1 diabetic, whatever that means. I'm not really sure. What does that mean, Catherine?
I'm insulin dependent.
Insulin dependent.
Yep.
I mean, how many times a day do you have to take insulin?
I used to take insulin, now I have the pump.
You have the pump.
Which
Okay.
is sort of like a beeper. It's an IV
All right.
in my side.
All right. How many times a day do you have to take it, or is it just automatic?
It does me a continuous rate all day, like a normal
All day.
pancreas. And I take a bolus, which is a large dose, at mealtime.
Okay. So you know, clue me in here on what's going on. Now, I thought if you had a serious diabetic problem like yours, that you would not be able to compete in athletics, especially running. So how do you manage that? What does your doctor say to you about your running?
It doesn't kill you, only makes you stronger, so.
He says it's good for you?
Yeah, it's great.
Really?
Exercise is great, as long as
Really?
you keep your sugar under control.
Yeah.
The exercise really does help.
Okay. So what did you run for a time today? Any idea?
Something in the 25s. It's my PR, I'm pretty sure.
PR. She PR'd today. A PR means personal record, by the way.
I think.
That's an insider's information there. If you're a runner, you know what a PR is, but nobody else does. Now, I'm not going to call this young lady, what was it? Caitlin. I'm going to call her Katrin. Now, this is Katrin. Last name again?
Herdick.
Now, who are your parents?
Clark Herdick and Janet
Clark.
McFetridge.
Now, what does your dad do?
He teaches first aid at Clinton Community College.
Right. He's also retired, right? He's retired from one job before, right?
No.
No?
He's still working.
I know he's still working, but he's retired from another job before he started working where he is now.
No.
Are you sure?
I
I'm
don't,
not sure either.
I don't
Well,
think
we'll
so.
leave that one alone, all right? We'll leave that. So what is your, I know what your mom does, but you
Yeah.
tell me what she does.
She teaches French at the high school.
French at Northeastern Clinton. Now, you also PR'd today.
Yes.
What was your PR?
2042.
And you want to tell us why you think you got a PR? What was that workout we were discussing? What do you do in that workout?
A hard run for a mile and a half, and then a quarter-mile sprint at the end.
On the track, right?
Yeah. Yes.
And how many times do you repeat that?
3 usually.
3 times. So basically what they've been doing is part of their workout, and she seems to think it's done her good, because you had what'd you have at the end of the race? You had a kick,
Yeah.
right? You never had a kick before, right?
Yeah.
So the cross country course, the modified boys and girls course, I think it's 1.3, 1.2,
1.4.
1.4 miles.
think.
So what they do is they run the modified course, which is 1.4 miles. They run that hard, and then they run right onto the track out here, and then run a fast 400 meters. Then they go back and run that course again hard, run another fast 400 meters, and then they do it a third time. I'm getting tired just thinking of it. And apparently it's working for several of the Northeastern runners, because in the boys race, Tyler Gay passed about 5 or 6 runners at the end. So what grade are you in, Katrin?
10th.
10th grade, huh? And you?
10th.
Both 10th graders. So with these type of runners on the Northeastern girls team, they're going to have a good team for 2 more years at least, right?
We should.
Any idea where you girls want to go to school, or is that too early to make a decision like that?
For college? Idea.
Yeah.
ACP.
ACP. Now, what's ACP?
Albany College of Pharmacy.
This young lady wants to be a pharmacist. Now, I know her aunt is a pharmacist, by the way. What's your aunt's name?
Aunt Nancy. Nancy Duffy.
Nancy Duffy. And now, who are your parents?
Mary Duffy, Frankie, and Richard Frankie.
Richard, Richard I've worked with for 20 years. He's a U.S. Customs officer, so he's been a colleague of mine for 20-some years at the border. And what does your mom do?
Volunteer.
She's a mom, right?
She's a housewife.
That's very important job. She's a mom. Oh yeah, you were going to talk about the walk, right?
I guess so.
Go ahead.
Okay. Tomorrow we're doing America's Walk for Diabetes in Burlington. Our team goal is $1,000. Me and my mom have raised almost $800, and we're pretty sure that we've already reached our goal, and we're maybe aiming for $1,500. And there was just an article in the paper today, and we'll be walking about 4 to 6 miles.
So what's going to happen with this money that you raised? Where's it going?
It goes for a cure and to educate people on diabetes.
So it's going to be sent to the Diabetes Foundation, right?
ADA, American Diabetes Association.
So why don't you girls give me a little background? What's a typical day for you? These are athletes, of course, but they're also academic students. So what time do you get up in the morning?
6:30.
Do you study?
At
Where
night,
you study?
after school. After school.
After school. Well, you got to run after school.
After practice.
So when is practice in?
About 5. Get home about 5:30 with getting.
So when do you start studying?
Take a shower after you get home.
Oh yeah. Anytime you can fit it in, right?
Yeah. After dinner.
You both. How are you doing academically, or should I ask that question?
No, I'm doing pretty well.
You're doing. How about you?
Fine.
Both doing well, huh?
Yep.
Both at the top of that class?
I hope so. Middle. At the top.
Middle.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, thank you for letting us interview you.
Thank you.
And good luck.
Thanks.
We're back on the air again, and we're about to interview the girls winner of the Northeastern Invitational. And I'll let her pronounce her own name because I had some difficulty with it when I was trying to do it when she was running a race. Now, what is your name?
Marika Isom.
Marika, you want to spell that for us?
M-A-R-I-K-A.
And the last name?
I-S-O-M.
I-S-O-M. And I think before we sort of discussed where it might be from, and I didn't know, and you didn't know either, right?
No, I'm not sure.
Sounds like it's some sort of a Scandinavian name, but I'm not sure of that. So what did you do for time today, Marika?
20:05, I think.
20:05.
Yep.
Is that a PR?
Yep.
Again, for people who are not in the know, a PR is your personal record. So again, she ran a personal record today, which excellent race in these windy, cold conditions, right?
Yeah.
Right. Now, what grade are you in, Marika?
I'm a sophomore.
Sophomore. What's your favorite subject?
Probably English.
English. So you're going to be an English teacher, right?
Probably not, maybe.
Journalist?
No.
Definitely not a journalist.
No.
How about a TV personality?
Nope. Horrible public speaker.
Well, you're doing pretty good here.
I'm nervous.
You no reason to be nervous, right? So you're a sophomore, and what school do you go to again?
BFA, St. Albans.
All right.
Rose Free Academy.
Where is BFA located?
St. Albans, Vermont.
St. Albans, Vermont, and I think most of the people that live in this area know where St. Albans, Vermont is, and the BFA high school is sort of toward the southern end of St. Albans. It's an old brick building, and I can remember in high school myself competing against their academy in football back in the late 50s, but they have a very rich tradition of sports in that school, as she is emphasized. So where do you plan on going to school when you finish? High school.
I'm not sure yet, no.
Not sure yet. So how are you doing in Vermont in terms of racing against other girls? Are you winning quite a few of your races?
Yeah, I won my race on Tuesday at Mount Abe.
So that's Mount Abraham, right?
Yep.
Where's that located now? Is it near Burlington?
It's in Bristol. That's where it is.
Bristol, Vermont. Now, I've been to Bristol, Vermont.
Yep.
Not a very big town. So what's your next race?
Next Tuesday is home at BFA.
BFA, huh? So, okay. Do you have the same type of setup that we have in New York State, where you have sectionals and then regionals and then a state championship?
Yeah.
You do have that same type of setup. Huh? So you got 2 more years to go. It's all downhill from here, right? No pun intended.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for interviewing with us.
Thanks.
We appreciate it.
Yeah.
And if you happen to want a copy of the interview, this gentleman here, Calvin, will furnish it for you.
All right, thanks.
Okay.
This fellow's trying to figure out what is going on in this gymnasium. And he's making his getaway. I think he's gonna escape.
We're back on the air again, ladies and gentlemen, and I have two Salmon River Central School runners here. Salmon River is probably the school that's the furthest away from, in terms of travel to get here. Tupper Lake, yeah, Tupper Lake, maybe about the same, maybe, huh? Salmon River's closer. Well, Calvin's the expert, so I guess Salmon River's closer. I'm going to have you gentlemen introduce yourself. Who's this young lad right on my immediate right here? What's your name?
Josh Pelican.
Josh Pelican, and say it a little louder here. I can't.
Louis Geha Elijah.
This is Louis Geha Elijah. Did I say it right?
No.
Now, what is that first name? Is that Mohawk?
Yeah.
And what does it stand for in Mohawk?
In the sky.
What?
In the sky.
In the sky? Yeah. It means in the sky in Mohawk. Now, the only word that I know in Mohawk is Ona. Onagawaii. Now, what does that mean? Remember?
Bye.
Goodbye, right. Yeah, it means goodbye. We occasionally, where I work, we have the iron workers that travel in New York, and I've asked them a couple times what they say in Mohawk. Well, this young lad is Mohawk. Do you live on the reservation?
Yeah.
Live on the reservation. What grade are you in school?
11.
Junior. How about you?
11.
You're both, these two young lads are in 11th grade. And what'd you finish, 3rd and 4th?
Second and 4th.
You finished second.
Yes.
You had a heck of a sprint there at the end.
Yeah.
You passed a couple guys, including him, right?
Yeah.
Who's supposed to be number one on this team anyway?
It's team effort.
He's evading that.
Well, I mean, first time I beat him.
First time you ever beat him?
Well, this season.
This year. So this is a real coup for you, right? We're not trying to put you down, but he's just did real well to do that. So you've been aiming for him, right? Finally caught him. So what was your time, Josh?
17:01.
17:01, and yours? 17 flat, I think.
Yeah.
17 flat. You finished second, right? Yeah, it was 17 flat. The winning time was 16:46. And both these gentlemen were quite a ways back at the start. They made up a lot of ground at the end, both of them did. How's your team in Section 10? Are you the number one team in Section 10?
Number 2.
Who's number 1? Canton? So they got that kid that won the states, right?
No, he graduated.
He graduated, so they just got a solid team this year. They got a couple outstanding
runners. They got a
runners.
pretty solid team, but in bisectionals, if we work hard enough, we should.
You think you should beat them? Huh?
Yeah.
For sectionals, are you Class B or?
We're D school.
B?
D.
D school.
Very little.
You're D school.
Yeah.
I thought you guys were bigger than that over there. For people that don't know, in New York State, you got 4. Well, actually, there's more than that. There's Class AA schools, Class A, Class B, Class C, C, and then there's Class D, and it's all according to the enrollment in the school. Now, these young lads, they say their school is a Class D school, which is the smallest enrollment for males in high school. I believe it's under 200 males in the high school, as opposed to a Class A school would have over 500 males. A Class AA would have about 700. A Class B school, they would have over 400 males. So they're competing on an equal basis against schools that are much larger. And you can do that in running. You don't need numbers. You just need a little talent and a lot of grit. And both these guys showed a lot of grit today, right?
Yeah.
Did you set PRs?
For this course.
What's your fastest time on a 5K course?
16:38.
Yeah, probably flat though, right? Flat course?
Fairly flat.
Which one would that be?
Down in Fort Plain.
Fort Plain. I don't know where Fort Plain is. Where's that? That's down near Albany?
Past Albany, yes.
Past Albany. Okay. All right. So what do you think you're going to do in the States? You're Class D. Your school should do pretty well in the States, right?
We should.
Huh?
We'd definitely be top 10 in states.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, I think you'd probably do a little better than that. You need your 4th and 5th runners there, though, right?
Yeah.
You got to run.
They'll get up there.
They'll get up there.
They've been improving quite a bit.
Oh. Well, congratulations, men. I forgot to ask you, what are your plans for after high school? What do you plan on doing, Josh?
College.
Any firmed up anything yet?
I want to be in architecture.
Architecture. Well, Syracuse University has a good architectural school, right?
Yeah,
Cornell?
Sure. I'm thinking about Rochester.
RIT or University of Rochester?
University.
University of Rochester is one of the best academic schools in the country. So this young lad must get good grades if he's thinking about going there. You get good grades?
All right, grades.
All right, he's being modest. Now, how about you? No plans firmed up yet, right?
I want to go to college.
Good. Well, you should go. You need a college education today. Of course, you've already heard that lecture from your own parents, right?
Yeah.
Right? All right. Well, congratulations, men.
Thank
You ran an excellent race, and we're happy for you to be here. You know, we like to have you people come. Come on back next year.
All right.
Maybe you'll win.
Thank you.
We're wrapping up another successful Northeastern Clinton Central Invitational cross country meet, and on the boys varsity race, the smallest school here, Salmon River Central, which is a Class D school, won the boys varsity race with a total points of 46. And just to reiterate, it's the least number of points that wins. So their number of points were derived from having a 2nd, 4th, 9th, 15th, and 16th place finishers. You add those totals up, and it adds up to 46. Mount Mansfield Union, a Vermont school, finished 2nd with 87 points, and our own Northeastern Clinton was 3rd with 123 points. In the girls' varsity race, Bellows Free Academy from St. Albans won the girls' race with a total of 34 points. They had a 1st place, 5th place, 7th place, 10th place, and 11th place finisher for a total of 34 points. Mount Mansfield Union from, again, another Vermont school, finished 2nd with 56 points. Our own Northeastern girls finished 3rd with a total of 83 points. So both our girls and boys teams acquitted themselves well in these races, finishing 3rd. PHS was 4th in the girls' race with 102 points, and Colchester was 5th with 151. A little disappointed that some of our own Section 7 schools, the 3 top teams this year in Section 7, Saranac, Peru, and Ticonderoga, elected not to attend the races this year, which is unfortunate. I think we have a small section here, and it would behoove the coaches of the teams in this section to support each other, especially in terms of having an invitational. And it's rather unfortunate that they didn't show up for today's race. But all in all, it was a fun time. We had a good time. Of course, you watched the kids and saw the interviews. They're all excited and happy about racing, which is the way it should be. You have anything to add to that, Calvin? Till next year.